There's everybody.
Hello,
Much
everyone.
nice.
Welcome to the Justice Celebration. We are very glad that you could join us tonight. My name is Lila, and I am 15 years old, and I am a Joy and Grace member. Today's Justice Celebration theme is counting our blessings. In these tough times, we have to remember all the good things that surround us, and to also always have hope. On today's agenda, we have an opening song, prayer, music, a poem, and a story by Wendy Shelley. Now we will have Wilmer with the opening song.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Justice Celebration, and thank you, Laila. I have my song recorded, so Grayson, hit it on.
Can everybody see?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for tonight's Justice Celebration. Here is a song that says, God is everything, and because of Him, we are here tonight. So, hope you like it. La única razón de mi adoración eres tú, mi Señor. El único motivo para vivir eres tú, mi Señor. La única verdad está en ti, eres mi luz y mi salvación. El único amor eres tú, Señor, y por siempre te alabaré. Eres todo poderoso, eres grande y majestuoso, eres fuerte, invencible, y no hay nadie como tú. La única verdad eres tú, Señor, y por siempre te alabaré. El único amor eres tú, Señor, y por siempre te exaltaré. Eres todo poderoso, eres grande y majestuoso, eres fuerte, invencible, y no hay nadie como tú.
Now we welcome Antonio.
Antonio must be reading in the Spanish channel. Oh, yeah. María, ¿nos puedes interpretar aquí para los que hablan inglés?
¿Me escucho?
Sí.
Perdón, creo que no se sabe apagar esto. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Antonio Cruz y soy parte del comité de Grace.
Hola con todos, soy Antonio y estoy parte del, I'm part of the Grace Committee. My name is Antonio. Welcome and thank you so much for giving us your time and to come with us to celebrate justice. And I'm happy to be sharing this prayer.
A todas las personas de este mundo. Gracias por tu amor. Gracias por permitirnos estar esta tarde unidos por medio de esa plataforma para celebrar tu justicia y tu paz. Guíanos en la vida e ilumina nuestros corazones y trae a este mundo paz y amor. Danos sabiduría para crecer como personas y para ser un poco mejor cada día. Gracias por las personas que esta tarde hicieron posible esta celebración, ya que fue un trabajo en equipo. Padre amado, gracias por la vida. Gracias por tu justicia, por la paz que nos das y por todas tus bendiciones. Amén.
Amén, amén. Bendecido.
Gracias.
Hola, buenas tardes. No sé si me...
Hello everyone, I'm not sure if you can hear me. This is Jose Luis Molina Gomez. I'm new and I'm very happy to be part of this beautiful group. These are our prayers. For God, there is nothing impossible, so we're in the right
Bienvenido,
path.
José Luis.
And I believe Layla has,
Richard, you are in mute.
I believe that Layla has a reading for us.
She's probably reading in Spanish or English.
I never heard about the reading.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
Okay, then we go to Melina with a poem. No problem.
Okay, I think what I'd like to do is play a video, and I want to play it in the Spanish channel, which means our English channel won't hear the music. And I'm gonna post the poem in Spanish in the chat. Won't let me, hold on. Okay, hold on a second. So this is a poem called, by Dan Albergati, called Things to Do in the Belly of the Whale. I chose this poem because, to me, I heard this poem when we first went into lockdown, after about 3 weeks of lockdown. And it gave me hope to remember that sometimes you're in the belly of the whale. And so I thought, when you're thinking about counting your blessings, when you have a very dark space, if you think sometimes the loss of faith is part of faith, you find your faith again if you have time to and space to think. So this poem for me is a metaphor. Why don't we go ahead and play? You can't hear me. Go ahead.
Excelente.
Thank you, Melina. I believe that the poem is being.
Sí se escucha en español.
Ve tú viendo las cajas, me las vas poniendo ahí, por favor. Te quita un espacio para ponerlo mío y después ponerlo tuyo.
Okay. I'm very honored to introduce you to Juana Cruz, who will introduce our featured storyteller tonight, Mary Shelley. I'm sorry, Wendy Shelley. Sorry.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Juana Cruz y tengo el honor de presentar a nuestra
This is Juana Cruz, and I have the honor to present
con muchas
Wendy
personas
Shelley.
de la
She's
comunidad.
been working with our community closely as a nutritionist, and also wants to
Siempre está lista para ayudar a quien necesite de muchas
support
maneras.
us in many ways.
Ella ha estado en Nicaragua,
She has been in Nicaragua as a volunteer, also in Salvador and in Spain, where she learned Spanish. And before coming to New York, she was working in Washington State with the community, the Spanish-speaking community in that state. And she's a volunteer that teaches English. And I have the privilege to tell her that she's one of the best teachers. And here is Wendy Shelley.
Thank you, Juana. I was humbled when Juana and Antonio asked me to share today, given that I've asked so many of things of them over the past 10 years. I didn't really have a way to say no. So here I am. So a little bit of my background. I'm from the Mennonite church background, maybe not the Mennonites that folks know from this area, clearly with my cut hair and my car. But this is a faith background that has given me a lot of blessings and a lot of connections with immigrant communities and communities around the world. When I was just a toddler, my parents went to Ethiopia for several years. My parents were conscientious objectors to the Vietnam War. It's a peace church that I grew up with. And from that, even though I was only 4 when we came back and I don't have memories of Ethiopia, my family values sort of have always been ingrained with the idea that God's love transcends all national borders, that God loves all people from all places. And so that's something that has stuck with me and been important to me when sometimes our society tries to tell us different. Another thing from my growing up years, my family's from Swiss German immigrant descent. And if people know folks from Switzerland and Germany, we can be known for sort of frugality and being a little maybe too practical sometimes. In my teenage years, you know, my family motto of live simply so that others can simply live wasn't always my favorite when my friends and those around me weren't of the same mind. But I've come to see that as one of the greatest blessings that I received from my family growing up, is the knowing, being given the freedom to know how to live with very little and be happy. But maybe more importantly, exposing the lie that our culture tends to tell us that stuff and money equals happiness. And if that's one lesson that I can pass on to people that I come in contact with from all cultures, that's one that I try to share. My husband and I did have great blessing of being able to work in Central America for 5 years in our early married life, in El Salvador and in the rainforest of Nicaragua. In the rainforest of Nicaragua, where it's 8-hour boat trip to the town where we lived, and no electricity, no running water. Recently I realized I didn't own a mirror for 2.5 years, and I don't know, being a woman from the United States, that's kind of a blessing to be liberated from that. We learned a lot from the folks there. We trained health promoters. Our little town of about 800 people were refugees that were resettled from the war in Nicaragua. They had fled to Costa Rica and the United Nations. They petitioned to come back, and the United Nations, maybe not in the greatest wisdom, looked at this unsettled area of Nicaragua and said, well, look, nobody lives there, and plunk, put them there, not really thinking that 8 inches of rain a day isn't real conducive to growing beans or corn. So it was a challenging terrain. But so our little town of 800 people was sort of the central city for a bunch of settlements out in the jungle. And we had the privilege of training health promoters. The communities out through the jungle would elect one person from their town to be their health promoter, and would come once a month for training with my husband, who was a doctor, and myself. And I'll tell you about one of our participants. Her name was Trinidad. And Trina lived about a 5-hour walk from our main town. In the dry season, which lasted about 2 months, we would be able to reach her town on horseback with mud up to the horses' bellies, many of the river crossings through there. But somehow Trina would show up once a month, rainy season or not, to our trainings. One particularly rainy month, we were sure she wouldn't make it, and then she showed up with her 3-year-old tucked under one arm and a live chicken, usually our gift that she would bring us each time she came, under the other arm. And she explained how, no, she couldn't cross the river, but well, there's this tree that has a branch that goes pretty much the whole way across the river. So she just climbed up the tree and went across the branch and plopped on the other side with her daughter and her chicken, and then walked the 5 hours to the training. And we were just amazed, and it's really stuck with me. And it's something that I've seen through the years in teaching English here too, the eagerness for learning, the joy in spite of what might seem very difficult outward circumstances. And it gives me hope that we can learn to really appreciate the important things in life. So since we returned to the United States about 20 years ago, I have had the privilege to continue to work with folks from different cultures. I did home visits for pregnant women and their children in Washington State for 10 years, and now I work with the Finger Lakes Community Health System, and also really love being a literacy volunteer tutor, English and learning more about my own language, but also being able to just explore concepts of culture with the students has really helped me to have a greater appreciation of just some of the questions in life that we think about, that what does it mean to learn to live with enough when I come from a place of privilege? What is it to talk with folks who really know what it's like to not have enough, and to talk about how to instill maybe in their children the same idea that money and things don't necessarily bring ultimate happiness. It really is an amazing chance to help people kind of reflect and give them some tools to make some choices in their lives. That's also what I really enjoy about being a dietitian, nutritionist, is that we all make choices about food many times a day, not just 3. And so I like giving people the power to see the variety of choices that they have, and to reflect on what goals they have, what opportunities they have maybe for change, and what sort of values they want to instill in their children. So yeah, and I feel blessed to be part of this celebration. I feel like interacting with folks that are from different places and have different perspectives has been one of the greatest joys of my life, and has really helped me to see God in a new way.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy. And now a song from Stephanie Quintanilla.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great evening. My name is Stephanie, and today I'm gonna be singing an original song that I wrote. It's called Little Bird. So I hope you enjoy. Tell me a story before I go. The one about the birdie who followed the rose. They danced all night long to their favorite song. Didn't cry at all. Was free at last to follow the rose. Ooh, bringing them home. Ooh, they travel through mountains and pretty high falls. Oh, reaching their destination of feeling belong and feeling love. And feeling love, knowing being themselves was enough. I left town the very next day, hoping I would find my way like the birdie did. It found its voice, the birdie did, humming with joy Feeling love, knowing me, myself was enough.
Thank you, Stephanie. And now we'll turn to our wonderful Western New York coordinator, Sean, to bring us up to date on some things.
Hello. Can everybody hear me? Just a quick thumbs up. I switched over to the English channel. Okay. So the part that I have tonight is a call to action. Today we're here to count our blessings. I'm gonna try and slow down my speed a little bit. So today we're here to count our blessings. And I'm gonna start with a quote from Miles Horton. Miles Horton was one of the founders of the Highlander School and one of the proponents of popular education, and is one of the pedagogues that we use to direct our work with the Rural Academy of the People. Miles said, "I don't know what to do. And if I did know what to do, I wouldn't tell you. Because if I had to tell you today, then I'd have to tell you tomorrow. And when I'm gone, you'd have to get somebody else to tell you." When I read this and I think about counting our blessings, what I'm going to ask you to do is to do not what I'm doing, but I'm going to share what I want to do. The first thing I'd like to do is give a big thank you to our tech guy, Grayson, for helping put this together, and a round of applause for our interpreter, Maria, right? I know your name's hiding somewhere. Maria, yeah. Because the work that she, like, this is our first attempt at a virtual celebration, and we are working out the bugs, and both Grayson and Maria have been a huge part of making it go as smoothly as it has so far, and we hope to get it to go smoother in the future. So the first thing I think everybody should do is give a big thank you. The second thing that as we count our blessings and listening to the story, is I want to look at what our blessings are. When we look at who our blessings are, they're our family, our friends, our neighbors, the people that make up our community. And the number one thing that we can do to protect our blessings right now is social distance. It's using a mask, it's washing our hands, it's avoiding large group gatherings, and it's sharing good info from trustworthy sources with the people that we love and care about and the people that don't want to hear us. Because COVID right now is the reason that this is a virtual event rather than an in-person event. And in order to get to a place where we can come back together and bring food back into the justice celebrations, we need to take care of each other and decrease the number of cases, which are surging right now in Western New York. So do what you can to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, friends, and neighbors. The second thing I would like to do is sign up for RMM's upcoming monthly email blast. So in Western New York, we have a lot of opportunities to plug in. We have a lot going on. Towards the end of the year and moving into next year, we're going to try and condense what we're doing and opportunities to plug in into a single monthly email so that people know how they can help out. The other thing that people can do right now is get in touch with me or with Wilmer to sign up for our Speakers Bureau. So oftentimes we get quite requests for outreach with newspapers. Sometimes things happen and we need people to write letters to an editor or to coordinate messaging. That could be sending messages out on your email, or it could be sending messages out on your social media accounts. So if you get in touch with Wilmer or I, we will get you on our list so that when we need to get a message out quick, we're able to get it out to the people that need to hear it. And the third thing I would ask everybody to do tonight is in the comments as we're wrapping up, give a little bit of feedback. What did you really enjoy and what could we improve on? Because this is our first virtual event, and as smooth as we would like it to go, we have some things to continue to work out. So we would appreciate your patience and some feedback on what we could do to make this a little bit better and a little bit more engaging and participative in December. That is what I am going to do. And I try and be a good example. So if you choose to follow my example, that's great. If not, do something to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Sean. And I believe we have a prayer from Juana, and then a song from Wilmer, and a final blessing.
Gracias Dios por permitirnos tener esta celebración. Gracias por los que estuvimos presentes y
Thank
también
God for allowing us for this celebration and for the ones who were able to be here and for those who are absent. And thank you for the opportunity of sharing and celebrate our blessings. Amen.
Amen. final blessing for all. A blessing from Grace. May God give you grace never to sell yourself short. Grace to risk something big for something good. Grace to remember that the world is too dangerous for anything but truth and too small for anything but love. May the blessing of the Spirit be with all of us as we go forward. And I hope that you'll join us again on Sunday, December 13th for our next Justice celebration. We'll be in touch, and blessings to all of you. Good night.